pain. That's a lot of pain right there. Ow. Hey, what's up, you guys? This is MCLegoboy here with 75385 Ahsoka Tano's Duel on Peridea, 382 pieces of an Ahsoka Season 1 set. I'm not going to say it's awesomeness yet because, well, it was $55. And I paid every cent of that because I got double points because I'm stupid. But, you know, this set is basically just a base for minifigures to be on, and these minifigures are rad. So, you know, I'm sure that we'll probably get other stuff when Ahsoka Season 2 comes out in like a year and a half or something, because they're shooting it right now. But still, like, I had to get these figures. I don't know, I loved what I saw. So yeah, there's not a lot going on here. You got a few little details, and combined with the T6 Jedi shuttle, you also get Sabine in there. How do you like this little setup I've got going on? Sabine being very effective in this fight against Marok. I also do have Thrawn, so we can compare our Thrawns, and this Thrawn is really dusty. I didn't realize how bad it was, but I bet that there's probably like a combination between these two that would be a perfect Thrawn minifigure. But anyway, how does this thing open? Ew, gross. I don't like that. So I'll worry about trying to open it up later because I got other things I got to record the openings for. I'm going to build this and we'll get to reviewing. Alright, here we are with the final model, and I gotta say, this set is pretty cool. Is it really made for kids? It's hard to say because it is a play set, but also, like, this feels much more like a display set than anything else. And this is really made for the fans of the Ahsoka series, which would be fans of the Rebels series, which would be in an older demographic now because it's been 10 years, over 10 years since the start of the show in 2014, and it ran for 4 years. So, I mean, like 6 years ago, that's a long enough time for some people that it's like, hey, we are now no longer the kids, we're now in high school, or we are out of high school into college. So, you know, the people that this show was made for would appreciate something more of like a display value that, you know, represents something on a different level than just like, ooh, play with the set, make the figures spin around, you know. So that's where I'm kind of looking at it, is that this set, while it has like these little play features like this, it's really more geared for a different audience. Because, you know, if you grew up watching Rebels, and even if you didn't grow up watching Rebels, but like you came to watch Rebels at a later time, it's a pretty good show, and the Ahsoka series is basically season 5 of that show. But I'm going a bit too long. Let's talk about these minifigures. So first I want to talk about this Night Trooper. This Night Trooper is pretty cool. This little bit of like gold kintsugi going on, and then the red wraps too. You got just a little bit of stuff going everywhere just to compare him to a regular stormtrooper, because, you know, we can. There he is. You can see that things are a little bit different, actually. The printing has changed. I don't know, this is from the Mandalorian set. Maybe, I don't even remember what that thing is called. Marauder. So yeah, look at that. The printing's changed a bit. Added a bunch of extra shadows. So I'm sure that that's probably something that was present on one of the 25th anniversary sets. So I totally beefed it on this review, and that's because I forgot something really important about the Stormtrooper. The Night Trooper, as it's called, actually. And that's because it has a zombie head underneath, and I just completely forgot about that. I'm so used to Stormtroopers not having anything under their helmets other than like a yellow or a flesh or a black head that I didn't even think about the fact that this had something important underneath. So here he is, all his glory, the Night Trooper with no helmet. Brains. I clearly have none. Okay, back to the review. Next up, we got Morgan Elsbeth. This is an okay character, in my opinion. Didn't really leave a lasting mark on me. But yeah, it's like got all kinds of printing front and back, 2 different faces. I like this hairpiece. This hairpiece is pretty cool. Got nice braids everywhere. Very involved, very intricate. But yeah, Morgan Elsbeth, there's not much to her, in my opinion. She kind of served her purpose of just being somebody to get Thrawn back into Star Wars after the events of Rebels Season 4.
Spoiler alert.
The Blade of Talzin is interesting. I mentioned that I didn't have the Darksaber, and now I still don't have the Darksaber, but I at least have the mold that it produced in trans green. And yeah, I'm never going to use it for anything, and you get an extra of it, which is impressive. And the stud on the back of it really kind of gets in the way, in my opinion, but whatever. There's no printing on her legs, and I don't have a problem with that, to be honest. Like, there are people out there that would be like, oh man, that's not good enough. And it's like, well, I don't know. Doesn't look too bad to me. Up next is Ezra Bridger. I would show you what his Rebels counterpart looked like in Lego, because we only ever got the Season 1 version of him. We didn't even get Season 2 with the scars on his cheek. But he was like pale flesh color. And now look at him. He's all tan and what he should be. I think that the blue eyes are a bit much. Although, I mean, to be honest, the the contact lenses that Imanis Fondi, I think is what his name is. I mean, he played Ezra fantastically, but the blue eyes, they are a bit extreme on him. But yeah, he looks great wearing, like, cloths that he probably traded for and worked with the Noti, and apparently he's got, like, a bunch of chainmail made of Stormtrooper dog tags, which is actually a little extreme, but, hey, you gotta do whatever you need to in the past 10 years to survive. But he looks great, and I love the black kind of mullet piece. It just looks so good. I'm a fan of how he looks in the Ahsoka show. Then we've got Ahsoka. Ahsoka is this is supposed to be like Ahsoka the White, kind of playing off the whole Gandalf motif, and she's really more in light gray than anything else. That's better. Although the dark gray is more of a gunmetal in her first half of Season 1 outfit. Let's get refocused here. And I'm surprised that it is just a kind of a lighter version of her character design. It's not a one-to-one recreation of being dark and light, but there's a lot of similarities and surprising amount of features shared between first half and second half of the show. I do want to compare her to her Clone Wars version, though, and the main reason why is because the Montrals. I've always said that the Montrals on the Clone Wars one are too big, although that is. If this wants to let go of there we go. That's better. Because of the new Montreal print, like design and the print on it, look at that. That's about as close as you're going to get to accurate Clone Wars length Leku. Although, upon some recent viewings, it does kind of go down to about her belt. The Leku go down to her belt, so it's not as angular as the Clone Wars design, but hey, I mean, this is definitely overkill. And this is not too bad. So if this part appeared on Bricks and Pieces, that would be a decent substitute for Clone Wars Ahsoka, of it at least being a bit younger looking, or at least because of the smaller Leku. Although it's a bit too many lines, but still. I forgot to show you that she does have a reverse print on her head for angrier expression while fighting. I kind of prefer leaving her like this. I don't even remember if this version of Ahsoka has a smiling face or not. More of a pensive look. Oh, no, it's the same. I guess it's just the way Ahsoka is in Season 1. I will say that, like, I am not crazy about live-action Ahsoka and how she's acted. But once she does turn into, like, Ahsoka the White, she's perfect. So, man, I don't know. I don't know what Dave was thinking, but I don't know. Maybe there's something on the Blu-ray that I don't know about, because I don't own it, and I can't even play it because I don't have the 4K player, let alone the discs. So, yeah. Anyway, final minifigure time. And that is Grand Admiral Thrawn. And he looks pretty good. He looks better than his Rebels version, I'll tell you that. If anything, the Rebels version, although it's still a little dusty, let's fix that for a second. That dust is like really in those grooves. Anyway, when you look at the Rebels version of him, come on, there we go. He's a bit too dark in the Rebels form. Dark Azure was too far. Medium Azure is a little too pale. I feel like you go with the medium Azure instead of medium blue, and not just standard Azure or dark Azure. You know, but like the torso is better on Rebels, except for the fact that they got the rank wrong on him. But like we need the extra little data rods on him, I think is what they are. I don't remember exactly what they're called. And I know that like I should, because I'm a Star Wars fan, but I don't. So, but the nice thing about the Ahsoka version is that you don't get the like extra little printing of colors around his eyes. That feels a little distracting. But then they do also print his like extra kind of loby stuff on his forehead. So it's hard to say. Now, this does feel like an improvement to me. Adding the dark blue hair to him is much better than going with the black hair. You can't really tell that his hair is blue in the Ahsoka show, but you take what you can get. And then the boots. This is something that I saw Ben Kasi do years ago. I've been trying to get my hands on a pair of these boots to give to Thrawn, but now we have this Thrawn, I'll be honest, like, this is better. So, aside from a swap with the dark blue hair, that's a perfect minifigure of Grand Admiral Thrawn. I wouldn't give him a pistol. He's not the type to really go around shooting things, but he's pretty good. As for the build, yeah, like I said earlier, like this doesn't really feel like a playset, even though it has these nice little functions of letting the minifigures spin around. The main reason why is because, I mean, this has got some complicated building techniques. I mean, the set is 8+, but there's snot. There are a few crazy angles going on when you look at it from the top down. So yeah, there are a few odd gaps. This is not particularly great going on in there, but I mean, there's a lot of complicated angles being formed. Perhaps there is a better way of capturing a more smooth aesthetic on here in some of these places, but it may just not be possible. And, you know, that's just the way things are. Another reason why I wouldn't say that this would be a great kid set is that there are stickers everywhere. And to be honest, 2x4 plates and these big 1x4, or not 1x4, but, you know, these big round curve things, those could have been printed. And the main reason why is because there are so many multiples of them. The big slabs here, the big monolithic structures, yeah, stickers, that makes sense because there are different patterns on them. But these being the same line again and again and again, it was tedious. I only really messed up one of them, like, and had to realign it. So, I mean, I'm pretty decent with stickers, but there's still some errors made, and if they were just printed, you go edge to edge of the parts and it would look seamless. So, oh well. But there's some really cool building techniques. I mean, look at this. This is crazy. They got like a clip and a ball joint there, and got stuff connected with Technic. There are a few areas where they could look a little better. Like, ooh, I don't like that. I don't like seeing the injection points if I can help it. There we go. That's better. But like these exposed studs here, usually I'm not one to be like, oh, you should let your studs be seen. Like, not like you got to tile them up. Don't let any of these studs show. But like, this feels a bit unfinished to me. And especially considering that you pay $55 for the set if you don't get it on a discount somewhere else. That's missing. And this also feels a bit lacking. And this is some kind of a jump platform for Ezra. That is, if he could even stand to begin with. So let's just kind of do that. Cool. He just goes straight up in the air. He doesn't even fly anywhere he should be. I figured that this was towards the end of the show, but because I mean that is what this depicts. It is like the end battles between all the characters, but nope, he just goes straight up. Well, that's pointless. That's kind of lame, to be honest. So yeah, but so I mean, play features. I mean, it's really just spinning the characters around and having them fight. And these are the only two that actually fight. I don't think Ezra ever gets involved with this one. He's too busy fighting off a bunch of these night troopers and everything. So, yeah. Other than that, I mean, not much else to say. I do like these ingot pieces. Apparently, are like the perfect angle for the monolith stuff to just lay flat. That's pretty cool. Nice angled sections. Do get some of this gold on the back, and for some reason I got a 5th gold bar piece. Not bar, but you know what I mean, like big antenna thing. So yeah, and I will say, since we have so many stickers, it kind of feels like there should be another sticker here, just to keep that gold line going as far as possible. I know it's a bit much to ask for a sticker set full of stickers to then include more.
Whose side are you on anyway?
But you know. Anyway, this has been MCLegoboy with 75385, Ahsoka Tano's Duel on Peridea. It's a good set. It's a nice display piece for everything Ahsoka. If you got the T6 shuttle, then you would also have Sabine. So that's pretty cool to have everybody in the set, because that also includes Hu Yang. So all we're missing is a Night Trooper and Death Trooper battle pack, which unfortunately is also way overpriced. So this set is definitely worth it at a discount, or if you end up getting like a bunch of promotional items and double points and things like that to help offset. Because yeah, this is not worth $55, but it was a very enjoyable experience, and the figures are really cool. So this is a good set. It's just overpriced, and I'll say that the $44, it still feels a bit high, but like the $44 that I keep seeing it at other places, at least online, that's pretty good. That's a decent value. So that's my review. See you guys.